this is a joke stream. That's a perfect way to fucking start this shit. Hey everybody, welcome to the Unnamed Friday show. I'm joined by Skull and Nick.
Hi.
I'm currently looking up how to rub lotion into my electronics.
Yeah, he's going full Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, doesn't shock me with how you play a paladin.
Thanks, that doesn't shock. That is kind of weird.
How's that correlate?
It probably doesn't, but you're not a hero. That's how it correlates. I'm the hero. Me.
Whatever they're Mr.
Monster.
Mr. Baby fighting.
Also, a lot of people probably notice now they are comment moderators because I'm like, look, I've been on here 2 months. I'm pretty sure who I can trust not abusing the comment moderator abilities.
That reminds me, how many people watch the new D&D cap?
I did forget to shout it out the last week, Nick, so that's probably...
Oh, that's why it happened?
So,
yeah. 34. So we're hovering at about 30s. First one was in the hundreds. Second one's at 50. 51 actually. Third one's at... I don't know what third one's at. Really
so, man, if you made both of them comment moderators, 78. I really feel bad for that third person who hops into the chat. They're going to get fucked.
I made most of the people who routinely come to the show's comment moderators. So unless it's somebody new, like somebody who came over from the Ideology stream, where Paul's ego realized, like, hey, are you edible napalm? Yes, I am.
But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it would be kind of nice if someone actually did a critique series on the series and that isn't like horrible.
If like next time the drunken peasants bring on Brett, like Paul's ego brings me in, like, hey, I got a surprise from your past, Brett, and then I just roll in there and I'm like, surprise, motherfucker.
This leaves the room.
I already know how, like, because Brett's so fucking predictable. I already know what he would respond with. Like, who are you again? And it's like, oh, Brett, I'm the guy who fucking destroyed your Missile Evolution channel and made you cry like a bitch to another grown man. That's who I am.
They also call me Edible Napalm.
Yeah, they call me a lot of things. Like, sir, can you please put your pants back on?
Did you do that with like a purposeful Bostonian accent? Say,
I get weirdly. I think it's the Irish in me. I get weirdly Bostonian at times, even though I am from the South. Like, especially when I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
Oh God! I just now realized I can't fucking eat Chowderhead, and I can't annoy people in the chat. I can't annoy people in our fucking group with that anymore.
Why not?
Because the only person who would get annoyed at that isn't here.
Nietzsche problem of interpretation makes every analysis of what Nietzsche's philosophy a fun and different experience. I'd agree with that.
I've been doing I still need to finish that lecture series on like pretty much 101 Nietzsche.
Did you get to the sexism stuff?
Not yet, but in chapter 2 they did, when they were quashing myths about Nietzsche. They did go over his view, people coming off with the opinion that he was anti-woman, and their position was that's false, mainly because if you do the reading, the reason why he didn't.
I would say it's fair to say he didn't have especially favorable views towards women.
Not sure about that. From what they explained, his position was there was no point for women to act like German men because, well, he saw German men as already flawed, and he didn't see any reason of having women pretty much inherent the men's flaws.
Yeah, that was yeah. Nietzsche's a weird duck. Again, like I said last week, like if there's one philosopher I could go back in time and just
give a hug,
give him beer and a hug and be like, I am so sorry for all the shitheads who are going to use your philosophy. It'd maybe be him or Schroden or not Schrodinger, Schopenhauer. But mainly that's more because Schopenhauer was just such a clinically depressed asshole. Like, just like, cheer the fuck up, dude. Like, I get it. You live in the 1800s. It fucking sucks.
Also in the lecture, they were trying to explain, I think, with Schopenhauer's entire view on will.
You know what's funny, too, with Schopenhauer? Like, a lot of people think he was completely hopeless and shit, but he actually did have one thing that he said made life worthwhile.
What was that?
Music.
I believe, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. The way they usually lumped music and art and other forms of art in the passions. And I also believe Nietzsche had something to say about that too.
Passion. Like, because like Schopenhauer wasn't big into like books or art or all of that. Like, well, art as in paintings and sculptures and stuff. But like, he was really big into music.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to stop listening to the lecture series while I'm at work because it's really easy to miss because with the history lectures, it's bad enough when you miss a small saying, it kind of changes what you thought you were listening to. With philosophy, you can fuck up on one step and all of a sudden you just completely misunderstand what the fuck's going on here. Really,
that's
not
pretty
useful
much every fucking like misunderstanding of Nietzsche. Somebody missed one important thing with him, like, oh, like, he wasn't completely like, let's abandon all moral systems. He wasn't a moral nihilist.
Okay, so I am loving the devotion onto the paneling. This stuff weirdly actually looks like cum.
Well, what? I'm sorry. Every time somebody says something ridiculous, I kind of snap back into reality because I'm working on basically a project. So
I'm rubbing Salon Care 40 volume cream onto this panel, and this stuff literally kind of looks like cum.
that's weird.
Well, it's a salon fucking. It's a salon mixture. It's pretty much a chemical. So I'm not surprised.
Music was one of the things that made Nietzsche happy as well.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to point out. Is that Nietzsche had a very interesting opinion of the passions. It wasn't just music. Apparently, he also liked paintings to some degree. I'll have to go find the actual lecture section that covers it.
That's the thing with like Nietzsche versus Schopenhauer, though. Like, and I think if you look at the anti-natalist community on YouTube and the internet, it kind of bears this out. Nietzsche was probably a much more worldly person than Schopenhauer was.
I could see that.
Like, it wouldn't shock me, like, to find out Schopenhauer, like, maybe left his little house, like, 30 times in his fucking adult life. It would not shock me to find that out.
Okay, so rap. Okay, now.
Are there any other philosophers? Oh yeah, I came up with like a high thought. I don't know if it's a thought experiment necessarily, but it's because I've been watching a lot of Near Automata.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hop out the mic for a sec because I have to go walk out. Because now that I've rubbed the lotion onto the panel, now I've wrapped them in plastic, and now I gotta take it outside and put it in the sun. Okay. So just give me a little bit.
But like, I don't think robots would ever be capitalist. Like, I don't think like if the robots ever rose up and destroyed humanity, I don't think they would ever become capitalist. It doesn't seem like a very robotic, logical, efficient like philosophy to have, you know? One second, I'm writing down Friedrich Nietzsche again. Let me put in the tags because again, no plan. Maybe I should plan for this show, Nick. Maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe I shouldn't. Like, that's probably part of the charm of this. It's like Edible Napalm doesn't know what he's gonna say. He might, like, fucking... It might be like that one issue of Wolverine where Wolverine called Sabretooth a kike. Like, Edible Napalm just says a fucking racial slur out of nowhere. Do you know that actually happened, Nick? There's an issue of Wolverine where the fucking... For some reason, the fucking letterer of the comic, the person who actually puts the words in the comic book, for some reason, they thought... I don't remember if it was like because the copy was smudged and they couldn't make out the word, but they thought instead of like Wolverine saying he's tracking down the killer Sabretooth, he's tracking down the kike Sabretooth. And it's like, wow, Marvel, like that seems like a really, like, nobody caught that? Well, I mean, capitalism is kind of maybe dying a bit. I mean, like, look at you. I mean, to be fair, we can't tell yet with the millennials. Like, they might end up fucking repeating the fucking goddamn same mistakes their grandparents / parents did, the baby boomers. Because remember, the baby boomers were really fucking goddamn, like, all social justice-y until, like, you know, the 80s fucking rolled around. They were like, you know what? I like buying cocaine and I like having money. And being a hippie does not lead to having a lot of either. And I don't like talking a lot about like capitalism because I don't know a lot of the finer details of economics, so I don't feel that I'm in a position where I can make very broad statements. But I really fucking dislike how capitalism is run in certain sectors, most notably healthcare. Because I get it. And we've had this conversation, I don't know how many fucking times, Nick, but, like, I get it. I get it. Like, a business, like, their whole purpose of existence is to make as much fucking money as humanly fucking possible. That's what they do. I just don't... I'm just not comfortable with, like, you know what? I don't know if you should put fucking profits before people when it comes to certain industries. Like healthcare. Again, like... That's like my biggest fucking hurdle with fucking capitalism, really, is like, man, if only fucking companies practice ethical capitalism or fucking whatever, like in the healthcare sector, like maybe I wouldn't have this fucking hugely bad, awful fucking taste in my mouth because of capitalism, but like, holy shit. Oh, don't worry about being high, Mons. I had a burp. I think Zizek is right when he says that global capitalism today doesn't need democratic support. China's capitalism with Asian like China's really proven. And to be fair, even back in the fucking 30s, the fascists proved you didn't need fucking democratic support to have like a capitalistic fucking system. Like fascism fucking works just fine. I mean, to be fair, it depends on the version of fascism. You know, certain versions of fascism are more economically viable, I guess, than other brands. So what kind of tests are you taking, Nick?
Oh, it's not taking it. I linked it in the chat. Or not the chat, the Skype. It's that slot machine thing.
Oh, yeah. I actually had a friend whose mom worked at a slot machine, like, factory. It was weird. It was like the only factory left in my hometown growing up. Be fair, there were two factories. Yeah, she just like basically put them together. And when I say factory, I mean factory in like the really loosest sense of the term of that word, because basically what would happen there is they would get all of the pieces already made, and then they'd just like stick them together. They had a lot of nice pool tables in there, though. They had this fucking badass one that was like a fucking fish tank. Like, it was so fucking cool. I don't think they sold those
All right,
units.
I'm back.
I think that was more of a display model, but like,
What
it
are you
was
guys talking
really
about
cool.
now?
It also the economy and capitalism, basically.
Hmm.
Really like down to clown with capitalism. Like, I'm not necessarily against it, but at the same time, I'm like, look, I'm gonna put people before profits. Like, that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, to be
Like,
honest, now that
I'm a very simple kind of fucking, like, I don't have very expensive tastes. I like having food. I like having a shelter. I like having weed and internet. Like, those are the 4 things I need, and I'm happy.
yeah, like I've been listening to Bad Mouse Productions, and I actually kind of got somewhat. I guess if he was here to explain it, it might not come off as so bad. But when he kind of equates all like social gains, but by the working class or by middle class
I think,
America
yeah,
as like just pretty much just equating to him as just turning back the clock when it comes to the end of
yeah.
capitalism, I felt was a little bit demeaning.
I think Skeptical Heretic once asked me if, like, I would rather have $1 million or a pound of pot. And I was like, pound of pot. I don't even have to think about
Oh.
that.
You'd be able to make a fuck ton
But
more. You get a fuck ton more weed.
Yeah, but like, you know what? $1 million, like, there's a lot of hassles that come with having $1 million. There's less hassles with a pound of pot.
So, hey guys, I'm starting to find out that chemical I rubbed onto the rather than the plastic
It
is somewhat
burns
corrosive.
horribly.
Yeah, it's somewhat corrosive.
Yeah, yeah, Monster. It like that's a big problem too with like the whole vote with your dollars thing is technically a fucking lie, because like you there's really very few actually ethical fucking companies out there to actually, like, for example, electronics. Like, guess what? Like, there is no fucking person out there who makes ethical electronics. Like, it's one of the things that makes me a bad fucking leftist. That, like, when I bring this up, when people are like, human life has value, I'm like, does it in this world, though? Does it really?
No, not really.
Like, look at how insurance companies run. Like, if human life actually had like an actual value, computers would cost so much fucking money.
Yeah,
Hey, all hail!
so
Damn it! I knew I forgot somebody. All hail! Okay, let me see. Can I turn you into a monitor? Keep talking, Skull. Like,
I just found out that chemical actually is kind of mildly corrosive because it looks like my fingerprints are starting to rise up and bubble a little. That's neat. It's not severe yet. It's just I don't know what the fuck's going on with my fingers. There's a very slight burning sensation coming off the main finger that was mostly exposed.
oh,
Nothing severe though.
there we go.
Worst comes to worst,
Oh,
if I'm suffering mild chemical burns on my fucking fingers,
I knew I forgot to add a comment, moderator. There you go. All hail. You have powers.
maybe I should actually
You know,
take a
you could be
picture of
like that
this.
fucking creepy pedophile in that one episode of fucking CSI that I vividly remember, where like there was a kid out of Chuck E. Cheese who got raped and murdered, and they were like, why can't we find any fingerprints? These fingerprints are cuckoo crazy. And it's because like the pedophile who killed and raped the kid, he took a penknife and cut up his fingerprints and then rearranged them on his finger. That seems highly improbable, to say the least.
No, actually, right now I'm trying to take a picture of it to actually show you the weird thing it's doing with my fingerprint.
Because I know there's ways to get rid of fingerprints. Like the mob used to do it all the time. They just fucking like hit your hand with a soldering iron or something, or like dip it in fucking sulfuric acid for a bit.
Well, the solution I'm working with is at a 40% hydrogen peroxide fucking solution. So I'm
Yeah, hydrogen peroxide.
not exactly sure how corrosive hydrogen peroxide is to skin.
Not very. It's bad for internals.
Oh, well,
Although it does make a really good mouth rinse. Like if you got like a bad case of halitosis going, I will say this: your mouth will taste like shit for like 20 minutes afterwards because it kills all of like the enzymes and bacteria in your mouth. So you're basically getting what your mouth actually tastes like.
Okay, so let's plug that in. We'll see if we got some decent pictures of. Oh yeah, also Nick, that memory leak looks like it's just steadily going up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, Skull. We were talking about this before I started the show, but I recently watched Gate, the anime, and oh god, was it fucking like such a cool premise, fucking wasted. If you're not familiar with the anime Gate, well, first and foremost, it's a light novel series. That should have been my first fucking warning. Has there been a good fucking anime based off of a light novel? There's had to have been. I can't think of it. I'd ask fucking Skull, but he got outed as being a fake otaku because he never even saw the Studio Ghibli movies before. He's seen every fucking Gundam series.
Actually, that's a misnomer, sir.
Because you want to marry a fucking Zaku.
No, that's a misnomer because I know there's a few Gundam series I have not watched to completion. Notably, V Gundam and which I keep wanting to call Victory Gundam, but V Gundam and Gundam After War X, I think it's called, also known as like Gundam Mad Max. And before you ask, no, it's not nearly as cool as you think it sounds.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of anime, like especially like because like that is something that always pisses me off. Is like when a good premise gets ruined. Like that's why I know a lot of people like this movie, but I hated Your Next because I thought it was going to be a serious horror movie, and I liked that premise of like a house invasion, but the people who invade the house aren't the actual threat; it's somebody inside of the house. That's fucking brilliant. 1 second, somebody's yelling for me. Just you guys talk for a bit.
Yeah. So apparently, me not watching Studio Ghibli movies equals fake otaku for some reason. I really don't care because I don't care about titles really. To be honest, we watched a few of their movies and yeah, they're pretty good. Even though Nick still thinks No Face is a fucking monster.
Kinda, yeah.
He's a good guy. He eats people.
A little bit. He does eat people, Skull.
Well, he does eat people, but if he does, I'm gonna have to get some gloves. This is so weird because the fucking whiteness isn't actually in between the finger fucking print trails. It's actually on top of the fingerprints, and it's just like bubbling. It's kind of odd.
And I'm back.
Talking about Studio Ghibli movies, and pretty much how No Face is a fucking horrific monster.
No Face is awesome. He's the hero of Spirited Away. Dobu's gonna start eating people.
How are you gonna hide that from?
I can eat cat girls. They're already not people.
Yeah, but
I'll start Dobu Gold Hands Chinese style.
Oh,
food.
By the way, Skull,
Like
what are you planning
objects.
on doing with that unfortunate sword you happen to pick up.
Yeah, and the desecrated body you didn't fucking bury immediately. Like you could have been like, "Hey, church, I know you're having a bunch of problems yourself. Here's some bones. You might want to bury those."
To be honest, I had more pressing.
Ghost babies were eating on them.
I have more pressing matters. They can wait. It's in a bag for a reason.
Yeah, like the skull, like the skeleton that was being gnawed by creepy fucking undead and the evil sword. Like those aren't pressing matters.
Yes, they're not.
Double gold hands, fucking community service comes first.
Exactly. Just gonna point out, don't know how long those bones are there. I mean, far as I know, it could have been
By the way, you do
to
know
several years.
like so much bad things have happened because of you forcing Dobu to do community service. People have died because you made Dobu hang around you.
I love how Dobu has no air of agency
Bad
whatsoever.
paladin.
Yeah,
Like-
none of it's Dobu's fault.
Yeah, exactly. Like
No, it's not.
it's like if I do something, though Matt's like, "What do you think Dobu's gonna do?" Like, I don't know. I possibly have like an
Dobu's
intrusive motive of
Dobu's a fucking determinist. Dobu doesn't believe in free will. Everything's
that's awfully
ordained to
convenient.
happen by the free hand of the invisible market.
That sounds awfully convenient.
Oh shit! Fucking Christian's here. Hey, Christian.
Oh wow, haven't
I
seen
didn't
you in
forget your
forever.
name. I did.
Okay,
I was
Nick.
gonna say Wayward Horizons, and then I was like, no, I know his real name. Oh yeah, fucking Gate. So this is why I hate fucking Gate, because it ruined a great premise. Sorry, Skull, but like Gate, basically this fucking like Roman Empire equivalent like society with magic and goblins. It's basically standard medieval shit, medieval fantasy. They open a magical gate to modern day Japan, and they invade Japan. And then the Japanese Special Defense Forces launch a counterattack into the fantasy world? That sounds so amazing, doesn't it? Yet it's so fucking boring.
I think there was actually someone I was watching for anime reviews, and he was actually using Gate as an example of a good concept that got completely fucking scrapped. I can't remember what exactly the example was, though. I think it was like how a main character can pretty much destroy a good concept.
Like Gate is like would be a good, because like the main character is pretty fucking shit, but like the problems with Gate extend far beyond him.
Isn't like his main?
He's just a nerd. That's his entire.
Yeah. He's a fucking nerd. Like he's playing
he's
video
proud
games
to be a
in the
nerd,
subway.
and that's his main character trait.
Christ.
Yet, you know, they don't keep that up. Like, he's stoic when he's basically whatever he needs to be when the fucking script calls for it.
So he's pretty much like a main character in like fucking any type of harem anime.
Pretty much, like, yeah. Also, like, his ex-wife is a yaoi artist.
No, that's actually kind of.
It doesn't play an actual part in the show, but like, it's just this weird little random thing. Damn it! That was another game I should have put on my fucking poll for what Steam game I should have played. I should have put Lisa instead of Undertale.
I still think you should have put Nico Prara on there personally.
No! No, Skull! No! You tortured me enough with that fucking game.
Or Gender Bender DNA Extreme. That would have been awesome too.
You make me sad.
That's my job.
No, that's well, I've already told Link. I got my theory with you.
What
Demon.
did I'm an otter fucking pain demon? Somewhere to Angus?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I mean, to be fair, Christian, like, it should be exactly the opposite, because, like, it is a sequel to a game about rape.
The what?
Oh,
And not the
Matt,
quote-unquote fun kind of rape with, like, a game like Rapeplay. God, I can't believe I actually said that sentence, but, like, no.
I was about to say, well, that's a game you put on your Steam.
Look, I'm not saying rape's fun, Nick. I'm not saying rape is fun. I am just saying in the world of Rapeplay, it's portrayed as, like, fun.
I'm just glad the main protagonist dies at the end.
You guys are so fucked if I actually find a censored version of Rapeplay.
I mean, to be fair, Nick, like, the main protagonist in the original Lisa dies.
Oh.
Like...
Wait,
like, was the protagonist in the main like the original Lisa a rapist?
No, it's Lisa. That's why the series is named Lisa. The original protagonist was Lisa, and in the second game, Lisa the Painful RPG, you're playing her brother, who basically feels immense amounts of fucking guilt because he knew his dad was raping fucking his sister, and he did nothing to stop him. Because he was a little fucking worthless shit.
Actually, I think I kind of remember Lisa because I remember the fodder figure.
Yeah, the father figure shows up in Lisa the Painful RPG, like as hallucinations and stuff.
Oh, also, Matt, I don't know why every time I see some type of like fat fuck with a giant beard, I just think of you in any type of like game I'm playing.
It just happens. Like I'm a beardy guy.
Just letting you know because I was playing that fucking the half genie game, whatever. I forget its name.
Shantae.
Yeah, thank you, Shantae.
I mean, I'll be honest. From what I've seen, I'll probably empathize hugely with Brad because it's like I feel like him, and if I was in a post-apocalyptic situation, I would probably end up doing all of the things he did and just end up making the situation a whole lot fucking worse. Just like he did.
Situations worse.
Actually, I think Mike Mnemonic's the fucking bonus boss in that game. If I remember correctly.
And then I know there's a third Lisa game, but like that one, people are kind of mixed on it. If you like Shanty Zen, you should check out the Game Boy Color original. It's a shame that it came out like literally, I think 3 months after the Game Boy Advance came out. So, you know, nobody bought it. Even though the Game Boy Advance could play Game Boy Color games.
No, that's neat. The center of my finger's kind of gooey now.
I don't think that's good.
Nah, it's fine. But yeah, I guess after I play, is I'm gonna be they fucked up one recording of Crusader Kings 2 because I suck.
Okay, no, I actually can determine this. What it is doing is like drying out my skin and like causing it to blister at the same time. That's weird.
I mean, that's what a blister is, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, but it's doing it at a very quick rate. Because I'm looking at my thumb, and there's one big ass one in the middle of my thumb. Yeah, because
you got a chemical burn.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's like the most mildest chemical burn I've ever had.
God, I'm pretty sure that's something Jeffrey Dahmer said as he drilled into a black guy's skull. It was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
To be honest, are you telling me that the
somewhat different situations, Matt?
Are you telling me the side conversation of Jeffrey Dahmer like torturing his victims wouldn't be?
I'll be honest, I'd be lying if I said Skull was the one who out of this group I'd peg as a serial killer. That'd be Lundy. He's too fucking happy all the time. He's hiding something. And that something is dead bodies.
Matt, are you saying the reason why you're not picking me is because I'm the obvious choice?
No, I'm the obvious choice. Like, look at me. Like if
You
like I
couldn't
look
chase
like
someone down.
no, I look like every first suspect they ever interview in like any like movie about a killer.
SVU.
Yeah, like I'm like, and then Skull's the second one, and then it would be like Nick would be the actual killer because nobody would suspect him because CSI is a very bad mystery show.
You have no idea how much my parents have watched the hell out of that show, especially Miami. Oh my
I
God.
watched the hell out of it too when I only had 5 channels to watch.
Fucking Miami.
Yeah, Miami was at least like it was at least like a dumb B action movie. Oh, excuse me.
So the only thing that made like me Miami fucking enjoyable to me was thinking the main character fucking Horatio. Every time he's on screen, I just have the thought in my head, it's like, didn't you get your ass like fucking punked by like Rambo and fucking the first movie?
Yeah, and he was also a police officer at NYPD Blue.
Like, I actually kind of like to think the Rambo universe and the CSI Miami universe are in the same universe. Like, that's the same guy. He just like transferred to Miami. He just doesn't talk about it.
My aunt, like, she likes Blue Bloods. I think a lot of people go through the serial killer phase. I went through it.
Yeah, I went from
My favorite serial killer, by the way, H.H. Holmes, the original. He was crazy.
I think
He made a fucking death. He made a death mansion, and then when he got found out with that, he went on a fucking cross-country killing spree on a train.
Yeah, see, the thing with me, though, was I never really went into the police dramas. I went more into, like, Cold Case and, like, whatever the other fucking, like, multitude of different series Core TV had before it became True TV and became shit. I was more that guy. I never really got into
Zodiac Killer's a fun killer, too.
Which killer was the one that,
Zodiac always kind of lost points for me because I was always more interested in the people who actually got caught so you could find out all the weird fucked up like for example, Ted Kaczynski, like at one point he thought he was transsexual. There's something about Ted Kaczynski nobody talks about. And that was actually one of his targets, was like one of the places he went to get a psychology evaluation and like to get the sex hormone stuff. Like they rejected him. Like that ended up being one of his targets. Zodiac, though, is probably the coolest of the uncaught killers. Do you have any favorite killers, Skull and Nick?
Not really.
I can't think of his name. The guy who he was in the '60s who would purposely like start up families of like single moms and murder the fuck out of them.
Oh yeah, the guy who the stepfather's based off of.
Yep, that guy.
Oh god, like speaking of serial killers, I can't think of the name of. I can't. Fucking the guy. He's probably my favorite serial killer from my home from Virginia. He was a gay serial killer, right? So he was like kind of fucking Ted Bundy-ish, or fucking not Ted Bundy, fucking fuck. I just made a joke about him like fucking minutes ago. But anyways, basically what this guy would do is he would fucking he would go out and basically pick up hitchhiking dudes and then beat them with a hammer and rape them. And like one of his fucking victims was like a Navy SEAL. He was a fucked up guy.
Yeah, sounds like all that train. All that. What's up?
Sorry, another person popped in who I was like, oh, I should give them mod powers. They're trustworthy. Annie on a moose.
All right, so time to. So I'm going to see if the extremely corrosive property, not extremely corrosive, They mildly
My
corrosive
least favorite
properties
is
of hydrogen
probably Night
peroxide can
Stalker.
damage these gloves.
Stalker's not really fun. Like,
Well,
no
the
serial
games?
killer is really fun. No, I'm talking about Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Like,
Oh.
but like, I can't remember the fucking like. I do like how Richard Ramirez was eventually caught because his like the police nailed who he was and they put out like his picture everywhere and a bunch of people saw him and just beat the fuck out of him in the streets. Like the police ended up having to come because they were like, they're gonna fucking murder this guy before we can throw him on trial.
To be honest, isn't that like the proper ending of like every serial killer?
Not a lot of them. Like some of them just get taken in. A lot of them get taken in by the police. It's like
Oh,
Richard
no, I'm not
Ramirez
saying
is
that's
kind of
actually what
interested.
happens. What I'm saying is, isn't that like the proper ending for a serial killer? Is just he's finally caught, just beaten the fuck to death by the masses.
Maybe. I mean, this goes into the whole like capital punishment shit, where it's like, what's the best punishment for somebody?
Okay, well, good news is the gloves I'm using to put the chemical on are not fucking melting.
Oh fuck! Oh hell! I can't remember the fucking the. I know he was like, I know he was Canadian, like the guy who ground up people and put them in sandwiches and shit, or at least there was. There's actually a few killers who did that. I know the ones who fed their fucking victims to their pigs and then processed the pigs for meat. I know they were Canadian. Jeffrey Dahmer, that's who I was. No, Jeffrey Dahmer is the fucking
He's the one who predominantly
killed
went after
nurses.
Buffalo
and
Bill.
then,
No, yeah. Bundy's the one who went after. Also, didn't Bundy also get beat to death in prison?
no, he was. I think he got lethal injection. He might have been.
And yeah, BTK is fucking. BT, you know what? This is turning into the serial killer episode. I'm gonna start looking up serial killers on Wikipedia, and we'll start rating them in various categories. Swimsuit.
Also, quick question. Actually, not a question, more just like an
Okay,
an
real
idea.
quickly, people also ask, what serial killer killed the most people? What is the definition of a serial killer? What is a hedonistic hedonistic serial killer? What is a spree killer? That fourth one kind of confuses me, where it's like, that's the fourth most asked serial killer question? Also, I am curious, what serial killer did kill the most people?
It's one we haven't heard of from Finland.
Yeah, Ted Bundy got the electric chair at 7:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 24th, 1989. He was 42 years old.
Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer.
No, wasn't he the Green River Strangler? And he just killed like a fuck ton of prostitutes.
Ted Bundy is
Ted Bundy
fifth
killed
on this list.
Like
John Wayne Gacy is third.
Okay, time to go get the.
Oh man, John Wayne Gacy.
God damn, those
What a
fingers hurt.
creep.
So, it's like mildly aggravating. All right.
All right, where's the list of serial killers? Wikipedia. I don't. I forgot. I forget that I do this for time to look up serial killers. Because some of these are already blotched in. I'm actually curious about other from other fucking like countries. Afghanistan. Abdullah Khan killed at least 20 travelers on the road from Kabul to Jalalabad, serving under the Zarnik Khan Also killed his wife, executed on... Who's Zardad Khan? Now I'm on welcome to the Wikipedia. You know what? I should screen share if I'm fucking looking at Wikipedia. Like, at least make this a little visually fucking interesting.
No, that'd be a bad idea.
Hey, Zardad Khan, warlord. Today is created United Kingdom where he's living for his farm and they go to that. Okay, he's a fucking who gives a shit guy. Argentina.
Oh, also,
Australia's got a couple.
So, hey, Matt.
Yeah.
I wonder what Timmy McVeigh's fucking opinions are on the alt-right. It's kind of like, wow. Well, Timothy
Well,
McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh is dead.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much of an opinion right now.
Yeah. His opinion is probably like...
I thought he was still alive, my bad.
Nah, he got executed. The Morehouse murder. Brandel Debs convicted of murdering 2 police officers and 2 prostitutes. I gotta say, that guy, like, for like the prostitution killer, he at least killed 2 police officers. So, like, he wasn't all just like. Let's see if this guy's got a picture. I want to, like, what do you think Brandel Debs looks like? He doesn't have a picture.
If I'm gonna guess, a probably average-looking individual.
Holy shit! He fucking killed the cops before he killed the prostitutes.
he didn't
Maybe
ramp it up.
that was it. Maybe he was like
killing cops.
Yeah, he fucking now that guy's fucking lame. Rockingham rapist. I got I love this one. Andy Fallon, poisoner of 5 family members in South New Wales. Yeah, fuck those guys. Wait, what country do you think has the most serial killers?
Gonna guess America.
Germany has a lot of serial killers. Doesn't shock me. Wow, they're like Iceland even has a serial. Iceland's like in the 16th century. God damn, it's gotta be so fucking perfect.
God.
Yeah, I'm thinking America, maybe not Japan. Maybe, you know, I'm actually curious about Japanese serial killers. Oh, look at one for Jamaica. Look at the one for Jamaica. Scottish immigrant. I think we found fucking Goster. Scottish immigrant to Jamaica, recorded Syria and Jamaica's history, one of its most prolific. I bet you fucking like, you know, this is what Angus must have been talking about when he was like, "Oh, I got slave ancestry." You know, I'm bored of looking at killers. Let's get off the fucking topic of serial killers. What else we got? Skull.
Maybe
pop quiz.
Maybe Angus's slave history might explain his pain demon ship.
Aren't all demons in slavery, basically, though?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure demons wouldn't live in fucking hell if you know, has nice beaches and restaurants and roller coasters and talk radio. Well, hell probably has talk radio. Oh God, can you imagine fucking how bad talk radio has to be in hell?
So, Interesting.
Also, all hell brings up a good point. Timothy McVeigh was a sovereign citizen, so he'd probably be like the alt-right doesn't go far enough. Because sovereign citizens are insane. I'm kind of mad Angus keeps putting off the sovereign citizen episode of A Very Public Spanking. Next time Angus sells off some fucking topics, folks, pick sovereign citizen for your good old friend. Because, man, sovereign citizen would be a lot of fun on A Very Public Spanking. I don't know what we're doing this week. I've been kind of trying to push Angus into fucking anarchism, because anarchism is one of the topics we're doing this season. And I'm like, that could be a lot of fun. Plus, we've done a lot of, like, woo, like, medicine stuff, and we did, like, the whole, like, cringe video. To be fair, the challenge video episode was a lot of fun. Like, watching people, like, do the rubbing alcohol challenge and send themselves on fire. That gave me a lot of laughs. Oh, it gave me so many laughs to watch people set themselves on fire.
Oh, okay. So that's exactly what it is. Interesting. So I'm right, at least from what I'm...
Well, I'm trying... I wonder what McVeigh would have thought of ISIS. He probably would have liked ISIS. No, oh my god, yeah, you're right, Zen. The debut of Mad Bull 34 was also the fucking... So, yeah. Oh yeah, that was the episode you were on, Nick.
Yeah.
God, remember the people setting themselves on fire and how funny that was?
I was pretty.
And then remember Mad Bull 34 and how fun that was at the same time. Spoiler alert, folks, if you're not familiar with Mad Bull 34, like episode 2 and 3 are really rough. And then it takes a real fucking hard 90-degree turn for episode 4, but I don't want to... I want people to be amazed at like what episode 4 turns into, because it's like, well, the first 3 episodes were basically about rape, so I'm assuming episode 4 is about rape. Nope. And God, fucking people wonder why a lot of 90s anime isn't available on fucking DVD. It's like a lot of it is like Mad Bull 34. Because a lot of, like, early 90s, late 80s anime was kind of, like, riffing off of, like, American... Even, like, to be fair, like, fucking Mad Max was technically Australian because of fucking Fist of the North Star's influences with that one, but... Fucking, like, Mad Bull 34 is definitely based off of, like, the late 70s, 80s, like, cop, like, I'm gonna fucking do whatever I have to do, like, for justice, and then fucking just so much rape. It's almost as bad as a fucking Death Wish movie in that regard. Not yet, Zen. I did put that anime on my watch list, so, like, I don't forget about it. And sorry, Skull.
Which anime?
I forgot what Zen sent me. Because I found a bunch of shit since then. God, like, there's so much fucking garbage anime on YouTube. Yeah, like, that's also the other thing, too, with Mad Bull, is it's not effective in what it's trying to do because it's so fucking over the top. It's not... It's not like, oh man, these cops have to be this fucking ruthless and tough to take out these criminals. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, I've seen more fucking subtlety in a goddamn Jim and the Holograms fucking cartoon episode. And in those fucking things, like, the Misfits would basically attempt to, the Misfits, I will fight people on this. The Misfits are the greatest fucking 80s cartoon villains ever. They're better than Skeletor and his cronies. They're better than fucking Cobra. They're better than the Decepticons. Like, the fucking Misfits would actually commit real fucking, like, they literally commit, like, attempted murder, arson. Sometimes they even got away with it. I mean, they never murdered people, but, like, they burned down a lot of buildings. You know what's fucked up, Mansoor? The guy from Low Below is still alive. He is 94 years old. He was like 50 when he filmed Low Blow. Yeah, there is a bit of fucking Violence Jack. Although Violence Jack is you know what? Violence Jack is probably not going to be on YouTube. If like Mad Bull, I can see getting away it being on YouTube, because even though it does have a lot of rape and fucking tits and just over the top violence, like it's really fucking shittily drawn and washed out. Violence Jack actually has some actual real style and substance behind it. Also, Violence Jack is really fucking just really bad. There's a reason why Sage keeps putting, like, there's a reason why Sage basically is like, I'm never going to review Violence Jack, even though early in my career I hinted that I would review Violence Jack. No, I'm not going to review Violence Jack. Like, fuck
I'm
that.
still fucking waiting for Sage to get around to actually doing a Gundam series finally.
Well, that's the problem. Gundam actually, like, Bandai still actually, like, does have, like, an anime arm, so you ain't gonna get Gundam Skull. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I just notice every time when it comes to anything that's near Gundam, he immediately excludes Gundam. And considering he had that top 10 list of mecha and his opinion on Gundam, I'm really curious to see how he's going to deal with the story issues that Gundam has.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Angus.
No, no.
I want to see him do Dragon Ball Z.
No, I just want him to do Gundam because, like, when he did the Toonami shit, it's like, oh, cool, because like Toonami was like one of the gateways for North America to deal with Gundam and to popularize it. And he's like, nope, excluding Stardust Memory, the worst of the Gundams. Reasons.
Yeah, Jim. There's one anime I found. Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with this title, but there's a full version of fucking Cream Lemon on YouTube, and I was tempted to fucking put that in my watch list to give to Angus, but then I was like, no, this is about a fucking 12-year-old having sex with a 30-year-old. That's not going to fly. Also, yeah, too, all hell bring, like, Violence Jack is like, even people with a high tolerance for fucking garbage, like, Violence Jack is not a fun watch. I'll be honest, like, the one thing I would like to find is like Apocalypse Zero. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun on fucking a very public spanking, because oh boy, is Apocalypse Zero just so confusing and baffling and awful and shit and just perfect.
What about that, oh, what the fuck is it? Is it Demon City or Dark City? I know you find that. I think.
Well, Hal tried to get a friend into Sage, but they were immediately turned off because of the Inuyasha episode. Your friend would probably not like me because I'm not a fan of Inuyasha. Mainly because it was like out of all of the fucking shows that never really stopped playing, Inuyasha, really? Like, this is the one fucking show you're gonna always fucking play. There must have been some fucked up deal there.
Sorry, I'm just picturing like how Shishomaru pretty much is kind of like, yep, and guess what my magical tactic for getting out of this is going to be? Barrier? Yep, barrier.
Barrier.
Ha 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 ha, you can't pierce my barrier. Every fucking time with that fucker. Like at the beginning, it was mildly interesting when he's building his body
I
and
found
shit.
Dark City. I found Dark City Monster, so that might make an appearance in season 6 of A Very Public Spanking.
I'm just picturing it if the spider demon chick is
My
actually
biggest problem with Inuyasha overall, though, is I really don't like any of the fucking characters.
There's one character I kind of like in Inuyasha.
Is it the flea?
No.
Because that's the one character I kind of like. I guess Shomaru is okay for a fucking
No, not really.
bad guy.
No, he's too
I didn't
fucking
say good.
boring.
I said okay.
Yeah, he's too boring.
Pretty boring. I'd say he's though 4 out of 10, 4.5.
Yeah, like at the beginning, he was interesting with the building
He's got
his
a good look.
demon body. That was interesting. That was pretty neat.
And then he fails to get the sword, and he's just like, I'm gonna mince around in the background for the remainder of the series.
Yeah, like the only
and
character.
Maybe be a good guy, or maybe be a bad guy. I don't know. If whatever. I hate fucking Kagome. I fucking despise Kagome.
Kagome.
It really didn't help that I had a friend who really liked Inuyasha, so they had like the movies, and he showed me the movie where Kagome tricks Inuyasha into putting the fucking collar back on, and I was like, this completely, like, Kagome's fucking evil. Kagome's the fucking real villain of this series because of that. I know the movies are technically not in canon with the series. Shit. Fucking cunt move, Kagome.
No, I think the only character I liked was I think I can't remember the character's name,
Rocco
but
is kind of fun.
The fucking
lecherous priest.
The fucking wolf guy. He's usually portrayed as a fucking pretty much rival to Inuyasha. I like that character for some reason.
Wasn't that just Shomaro?
Hmm?
No, they were dog demons.
Yeah, he was a wolf guy. Had like 2 soul gems in his legs. No, he's kind of villain.
Oh, I remember him now. He wore the shitty fucking like,
fur armor saying. He wore the what?
It looked like he wore a burlap sack and he was always dirty.
I think so, and the entire thing with him is he had 2.
I'm not joking. I completely forgot about that character until you mentioned him.
Yeah, he's one of those characters.
And now that you mentioned him, I'm just like, holy shit, he was a big part of the series.
Yeah, because he's like I think he's one of the few characters that isn't with the constant ban.
He was the Namor of the group, I'd say. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Namor's relationship with the Fantastic Four, but like Namor is like, I want to have sex with Sue Storm. Sometimes I'm a good guy, sometimes I'm a bad guy, but the thing that keeps remaining, I want to put my wiener in her. And yeah, Shippo might be one of the worst cutesy characters in an anime. Not the worst.
No, yeah, I've seen worse, but he's definitely not like winning.
Shippo's definitely Shippo's definitely top 15.
Oh, by the way,
He's
the
definitely
horrible.
somewhere in there.
I think the horrible. I think some of the like bad writing decisions in Inuyasha also kind of pissed me off too.
Yeah, Shippo was the tiny Kitsune.
Because introducing the fucking
That's
lecture as
also
a
why I hated
priest.
Kitsune for the longest time.
Well, Matt, so I just hate that. I hate the idea they introduce something, and then like you think, okay, this could be used for this, and they introduce a counter,
Yeah,
which
the
I
wind tunnel. Like the
yeah,
fucking. That's why I could never like Morocco, because like I get it that like it like swallowing a crystal shard would end up killing him, but at the same time, do the sacrifice, dude. It's in the canon of the series that even if one of the shards is missing, the Shikan Jewel can't be formed. Like, suck up one of those fucking gems. Like, boom. The major threat of the series is fucking taken care of.
well, see, I think the problem I had with that character was the fact that pretty much they made him completely obsolete by having every encounter with any of the villains have the fucking wasp monsters around.
Or the fog.
What did it even make the fog an issue? Because I don't remember that being an issue.
When the miasma became a thing? It was when fucking Shishomura was wandering around as like the woman and the baboon guy, and there's a third one.
Yeah, I don't remember the fog. I don't remember the miasma being an issue. I remember more just the fucking bugs, the wasp looking things.
But yeah, the bugs were a big problem.
Because it's like every time a villain shows up, it's like wait for it. Yep, there's the wasps. No, that made the priest useless.
And then there was the demon hunter lady who was so bland. Like, the only thing I actually remember about her is she had a kitty that turned into a flame tiger.
Wait, you mean the character who literally feels like one of those generic characters in like Final Fantasy Tactics or something, where literally their entire like definition of their person is just their class or their job?
Yeah, she really feels like one of those really shitty special characters. She does feel like one of the shitty special characters in Final Fantasy Tactics, where it's like she has a unique sprite, but she's basically just a normal person.
Yeah, so I'm a slayer. That's my special class.
Oh yeah, another fucking awful thing I watched recently with anime is Sword Art Online, the movie. That didn't even make sense in the context of that fucking universe. Like, they fucking create this hologram shit, and it's like, it can kill people, and it's like, why would the government allow fucking technology that could kill people after the shit that happened in the first 3 fucking series? Also, here's something. Here's a fun thing for people who've seen Sword Art Online. I watched season 3 and 2 out of order, and I couldn't even tell the difference. I watched Gale Gun Online before fucking the stupid fairy rape one. It is a really badly done Dot Hack ripoff in a lot of ways.
Well, yeah,
like,
it's
Dot Hack fucking did a way better. Like, also, Dot Hack had a really interesting To be fair, Dot Hack did have a really shit ending, which kind of ruined the series in a lot of ways. But it was a fun ride. Like, Sword Art Online has like one good episode, and then it immediately turns to shit.
I don't know. When it comes to the entire doing a like series on a fancy RPG that's an MMO in a computer, I don't know. I didn't watch Sword Art Online. I didn't play any of the games either, but the concept seemed interesting.
Also with Sword Art Online, like, okay, so Skull, I don't know if you know the plot, and I don't give a shit if I'm spoiling this, but the plot is like there's this guy who wants to recreate his daughter as an AI by taking the memories of Sword Art Online players and reconstructing her memories to their memory. So already I bet you're like, there's a lot of problems with that plan, Matt. How could an actual scientist come up with this? I know, I'm not done yet. So the fucking stupid MacGuffin in the fucking hologram shit, it deletes the fucking memories out of the people's heads. And it's like, why does it do that? You're just copying information. You're just making a copy. Why does it delete shit? Also, that's not how brains work.
I'm just trying to figure out why isn't he just like, I don't know, developing this as a technology to be used for like military and or security purposes.
Also, the whole point of the movie too is in the new game you actually have to be physically fit because it's holograms. You're basically LARPing, right? So it's fucking holograms. So the fucking here bland ass fucking face's name, he actually gets his ass kicked. Isn't that actually interesting? But because he's a fucking gamer, he spends all his time on a computer fucking playing stupid video games. Like he doesn't know how to fucking move and shit. But guess what? It doesn't matter. He levels up by fighting a bunch of secret bosses, which are just reused bosses from fucking the series. And that's how, like not through exercise or getting physically fit. He just fucking grinds because that's all fancy art online is just awful.
So hey, Matt, played a game
Yes.
a few nights ago, and I'm very confused by this game because you can kind of tell it's got some Souls inspiration going on with how the inventory works. It's like So I guess the best way to describe it is, are you familiar with Volgar, the like Viking made by like Adult Swim or something? It's a game. I think it's made by like Mighty Viking Studios or whatever. They only made one game.
Log Horizon.
What?
Is that it, Skull?
The Viking game?
Yes.
That might be it. But so it's kind of a combination of that game and Soulsy game, the game I'm talking about. It starts with an M. I'll have to go look at my Steam library to actually give you the full name. But I don't know if it's succeeding or not at the actual overall tone because it's trying to do that depressive, sober type of this atmosphere that the Soul series can kind of have.
I want to see a really happy Souls-like game.
That isn't doing that.
That's like just really bright and colorful and just like there's still combat and stuff, but you're killing like gingerbread men or something.
Well, I can't determine if it's a complete, I think you're getting called.
Well, a lot of the Souls games tend to be like a lot of the Souls rip-offs tend to be hits and misses because there's a lot of things that go. Because like, let's be honest, there's a lot of elements in the Souls games that if like even one thing was missing, the game would probably be shit.
Well, the reason why I'm having issues
like that's why technically I'm sorry.
Is because its tone is so fucking kind of odd. Is that it's trying to do this sober, fucking depressing type of atmosphere for most of it, and it does it pretty well. But then I do a boss fight, and pretty much I spend 20 minutes slapping around a giant fucking anime bitch's titties for fucking 20 minutes to kill it. It's just
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of just disconnect.
I mean, to be fair, Dark Souls did have big tits in it.
Yeah, but that's more of just like it being.
They were illusion tits, though. So
yeah, it was like one character, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And wasn't it like a goddess or something?
There's not a lot of sexuality in the world of the soul. Well, Bloodborne has sexuality in it. That's actually a big fucking spoiler alert for Bloodborne. That's a big fucking plot point.
One of the few games you probably don't want there to be.
I fucking love Bloodborne. That's like why, like, and that's the thing. Like, the best of the Souls series isn't even in the Souls series. Technically, it's Bloodborne. As much as I like Dark Souls 3, and I think Dark Souls 3 is a great wrap up to the fucking series, fucking Bloodborne's still better from the gameplay and honestly, even story perspective. God, I can fucking play Bloodborne for fucking ever. It's just, it's the best. I've been badgering Nick to get a PlayStation 4 just because I'm like, you gotta play Bloodborne. Like, if you don't play any other game on this console, just play Bloodborne. And maybe Dragon Quest Builder. Dragon Quest Builder is a lot of fun.
Do you get a bigger lot of land to build shit on in fucking Dragon Quest Builders? Because I'm still on the one plot. Bigger beginning plot.
Yeah, you eventually do. Like, yeah, you eventually do.
Because I've recruited so many people on that plot, I've actually gone to
technically, you can build outside of there.
Yeah, I know you technically can. I've been doing that, but like I've been building like multi-story high-rise like fucking like buildings just to house all the fuckers I have.
Yeah, like that. If I had like one real big, well, I have like two real big complaints about fucking Dragon Quest Builders. Is like, one, the controls are really fucking weird.
Or the fact that it's a game made in what 2000. It's a game made in 2016, and it has camera controls that are pretty much from the 90s.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's only so much you can do with camera controls.
No, I don't accept that as an answer for a fucking 2016 game that's asking for full price. You have analog sticks for a reason.
I do. It's Dragon Quest. They barely even have camera controls in most of those games.
How is this an excuse?
You think the Dragon Quest people know how to program cameras? Like, they make RPGs, Skull. They don't know that shit.
You know what, Matt? You know what? I actually know. I actually think they could. You know, because they copy the rest from Minecraft. I guess they could copy the camera controls as well.
But like, the other big problem is it does take a long time to get more space for building.
Yeah, it just.
To be fair, though, I think it is because they do want you. They do want to encourage you to build multi-story buildings, because eventually they do want you to build like roofs and stuff on your houses.
Though I do admit,
yeah, Stardew Valley is also great. There's a reason, like, that's one game like that would have been on the fucking the play vote, the play poll. I would have probably replaced Undertale with Lisa.
Oh, also,
and maybe RimWorld with Darkest Dungeon.
Dragon Quest Builders. It would have been kind of nice to AI if we had some more diverse AI when it comes to the enemies. I mean, like, there's still a...
Well, like, there's only, like, that's kind of the big problem with, like, the Dragon Quest series. There's only, like, when you get down to it, like, 50 different enemies in the entire series, not counting bosses. And even with bosses, they end up reusing a lot of bosses a lot of times.
It's just... I still think they're better than I still think they're better than the
I wonder if Toro
Minecraft
Toro is
equivalencies,
ever.
or not equivalencies, but the Minecraft enemies.
I wonder if Toro Toro is ever going to do like a Dragon Quest game, if he's ever going to design enemies for it, because Akira Toriyama does the enemy design in the Dragon Quest series, and Toro Toro is the guy who's taken over drawing the manga. So that could be that, like that. I'd like to see some new designs, because like I'll say it, I don't like. I'm not really. I'm gonna like. That's probably gonna be one of the big Game Boy series is Dragon Quest Monsters, because oh boy, I loved that fucking game as a kid. If I had to pick out like the best Pokemon ripoff, it would be Dragon Quest Monsters. Did you ever play it?
No, my brain for some reason is telling me about Monster Ranchers. I don't think that's the same thing.
Monster Rancher. Fuck. That's another good one.
Yeah.
I actually wish there were more Pokemon ripoffs nowadays. Because, like, thinking back, there were actually a lot of good Pokemon ripoffs. Like, Monster Rancher was really good. At least until fucking 3. Like, Dragon Quest Monster was a lot of fun. Jade Cocoon was a lot of fun, at least until... you know, I'm starting to notice a bit of a fucking pattern here. Like, this game was really fun until the sequel. Oh, shit, Renee. Hey, Renee. How's it going? I can trust Renee.
I do like the Pokemon. I do like the Pokemon ripoffs that pretty much try to do something different and just kind of fail. Like, what was the one I played on DS for like an hour and just kind of went, this sucked. I think it was called Fossil Fighters.
Oh, yeah, the dinosaur one.
Yeah, the dinosaur one where you dug around for fossils.
That's not Dinosaur King.
Yeah, you dug around for fucking fossils, and when you took a fossil, you had to edge something out of it, and then you got a new monster out of it.
And that could be a fun thing, you know?
Oh, it could be. It's just poor execution. I also remember I also remember the 3D animations on that fucking DS game were horrifying. Horrifyingly bad. And don't get me wrong, I know I'm going to hear the cry from people like, well, it's a DS game. It's supposed to be emulating early 3D. Well, yeah, but you also can just go back to like decent looking 2D graphics if you're really... I never understood that argument with the DS. The DS can still do 2D, and it can do 2D very well, so... It's not like
the DS can do 3D very well.
No, it can't. Not the original ones.
I mean, they did it well enough, like fucking Mario 64.
No, it looks
playable.
like shit.
Fucking Mario 64 looks like shit, Skull.
I know. And which console has which generation has the excuse here?
Both.
All right, what's the DS's excuse? Is it going to be on a handheld?
Yes.
Okay, and I don't get it. Yeah, it's a handheld. It's smart technology, and pretty much it's somewhat of a little marvel. Don't see why I should be paying for a game that looks like something from the 5th generation, though. Which, by the way, it's not. It's actually does something different, which is even more annoying.
By that logic, you should never buy a 2D game. It's like, why should I buy this game? It looks like a SNES game. Also, you're the motherfucker who has a computer named Dumpling in his closet because he found it in a dump because somebody threw it away because it was old and obsolete.
I was waiting for you to call me on my bullshit. Okay, motherfucker, you're the one arguing the old consoles.
Yeah, you're the fucker who bought a Commodore 64 and a copy of Tower Toppler out of spite.
Also, you're forgetting about my 128 and my VIC 20, good sir. Keep it up, I'll get a pet. See, this is how Matt destroys me. He pretty much pulls a fucking American USSR. He causes me to go into debt and fall apart.
That's a fun name.
But
oh, fuck it. I just Skull. Like also fucking the Mario Kart games were fine. They did 3D fine.
Yeah, they did 3D somewhat fine. It's just my argument is I still feel and it's just comes down.
And they actually did real 3D, not that bullshit the N64 did, where half the fucking things on screen were actually fucking just fucking pixels.
No, it just comes down to a matter of taste.
Look at it, fucking Ocarina of Time.
It's just a matter of taste. I think that decent or at least very well done fucking 2D graphics or pixel art, if you want to get into that, can actually pretty much supplant fucking early 4D technology.
Also, shitty 3D is better than good 3D graphics.
Oh wow!
Because you have to use your imagination.
Someone's pulling out their contrarian card here.
I'm not being contrarian. I'm like, fucking, there's more imagination in PlayStation 1 games than PlayStation 4 games. There you go, Skull. You know what? If I ever make a video game, Skull, I'm going to make it with just shitty fucking PlayStation 1 polygons.
I'm not saying that shitty PlayStation 1 or
that's what I'm going to do.
Or N64 early 3D doesn't have a place and it can't look good in its own right. I just think that pixel art is superior, personally.
Look, Jimson, I've already told this fucker I'm not playing Moemon.
I tried. Trust me. You have no idea.
Also, I have to fucking suffer the pain and Xavier has to suffer. I would just be suffering more pain in that case, Jim.
See, what I don't understand is why haven't you fucking turned my own tricks on me and tell me to do a Nuzlocke of Moemon? Because I have never done a Nuzlocke before.
You know why, Skull? You know why, Skull? Because this show's over because we've done 90 minutes. That's a segue. Sometimes I could do them. Not all the time. But I just noticed when also Nick's linked out of here. I'm gonna give him a stern talking to. I'm taking off my belt. I'm not gonna give him a stern talking to. So yeah, this was better than fucking last Sundays with Napalm. Holy shit, that was a shit show. But this one was good. This was acceptable. So Skull, do you have any final words? Do you? Or are you just gonna? You're just gonna be silent, aren't you?
No, the reason why I was silent was because my driver decided to fucking end on my headset, so everything just went out. Peace the fuck out. I don't know. Start co-opting that from Amazing Atheist. No, I don't want to sound like a 16-year-old. Never mind.
Wait, what did you say? You completely cut out.
No, I was said I guess
Like
peace
the
the
only
fuck.
thing I heard is I'm gonna stop.
I said peace the fuck out, and I went, no, I'm not gonna co-opt that from the Amazing Atheist. I don't want to sound like a 16-year-old.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't come up with that. Like that's been around since like peace the fuck out have all been words.
Yes, by that logic, any fucking thing's been around, and I'm pretty sure Amazing Atheist didn't come up with that because that's probably too original for him. It's just when it comes to internet personalities that I'm familiar with, he's the one that uses it. And I was thinking about using it, but again, I don't want to sound like a 16-year-old,
Like, oh,
which I'm almost convinced that
just
man.
use it.
Hmm?
Also, I was gonna say you already sound like a 16-year-old, but I can't fucking think of a reason why. Also,
Yep.
I was just looking for some fucking words of wisdom or life advice or something that you could give to the audience. Like,
Some life advice. If you're applying 40% concentration
like
hydrogen peroxide onto componentry, wear gloves. It leaves some interesting chemical burns.
there you go.
The more you
Don't
know.
burn your hand. Don't burn your hands with chemicals, folks. See you next time. Hopefully with unburned hands.